Happy New Year. 2021 is here. Wow. Family and friends, welcome to Q's on the Move. Q's on the Move spotlights the incredible work that Omega Men are doing across the second district with mentoring our young people, especially our young males, and helping men become effective dads that are involved in their children's lives. Not yet. I'm your man. I'm Brother Donald Williams, the proud chairman for this Fatherhood Initiative and Mentoring Committee. And my co-host for Q's on the Move is my good friend, Jeffrey Diggs. You will hear from him a little bit later in the show. He will be serving as our key guest to kick off this fourth year of Q's on the Move. Family, uh, I'm excited about this year and the endless possibilities that lies ahead. We have approximately 360 days of opportunity to make this world a better place to live and raise our children. Our goal for the podcast remains the same: to inform, to connect, to engage, and to share information with a new generation of listeners. We hope to inspire and encourage you to become a mentor in your neighborhood. Hold up, in your home first, in the neighborhood, and then the community. Our mission across the Mega Sci-Fi Fraternity Corporation uh, is called Project Manhood. Project Manhood is simple. We want every chapter in every community mentoring our young people to help them reach their full potential and to help our dads, mentoring our dads to help them help their children grow into healthy young adults, resulting in stronger families across the second district. So thank you for joining us on Q's on the Move. I'm going to pause here, family and friends. My heart, our heart, the men of second district, saddened to learn of a passing of another Mega Man, actually passing of two Mega Men. We got Stephen Smith, Omicron Kai, and our local brother, Tony Pastor Lee, Pastor Tony Lee, here in Prince George's County. Brother Diggs, my heart is rocked and devastated like yours, another shining star of Omega, in the name of Brother Tony Lee, a great man of God, a community leader, a great family man. First, I offer our sincere condolences to his wife, Elaine, and I believe three daughters. Jeff, what are your thoughts on Tony Lee, our good friend?
You know, Tony was a guy who really touched the fraternity and his community greatly. This was a brother who, had the heart to actually work at Cheltenham at the facility, the correctional facility for young males. He spearheaded one of those projects down there, and working with the community. Like I said, and he was a true Omega man because he was a leader in his home first. And along with him and Brother Smith, I've worked with both of them closely. Um, this was truly a devastating day yesterday to lose two brothers. Um, but God loved them more than we did. So um, we give uplift to their families and friends.
Thank you for that. Truly gone too soon. Uh, I know Brother Tony Lee, 1989, initiated just like I myself. We served the Bosslers. He served the Bosslers at Gamma Pi. During the time I served as Bosslers for Mighty Minu chapter. And I recall the story, the last Mardi Gras, matter of fact, that we were able to gather 900 folks. And, at every Mardi Gras, we have a part for the Mega Sci-Fi, and I'm on the stage, and I got the microphone calling all the Megas to the floor. I don't have that voice, Jeff. Tony ran from his table, got up on the stage, said, "Give me that." And so I like, that's a leader there. Um, and he has that baritone
Yeah.
voice. And last year, matter of fact, we
Yes.
took some boys to Howard University to see a basketball game. I'm sitting in the stands having conversation with my mentees, and I recognized the announcer. He was announcing the men's basketball players. I said, I recognize that voice. I leaned over the rail, and none other pastor, our good brother, our friend Tony Lee, spent about 3 or 4 hours. His wife was there, his daughters were there. We just had a wonderful time. And my last memory is the picture that you see before you. We're up at Delaware State, April the 27th. Second District was conducting our youth leadership conference. And Brother Lee, Gamma Pi Bosses at the time, was the first speaker to open up the conference. And I just want to read you, we did an article on the conference. I just want to read you excerpts that I was taking notes. He's, first of all, he's well known in Delaware, at Delaware State. And so what he imparted some wisdom and knowledge. He shared with the young men 3 areas for their growth and development. He said there's 3 areas: your name, your focus, and being passionate. Your name, he said, has significance. Don't let anyone call you out of your name. Don't let them call you boo-boo. Don't let them call you Bubba. Don't let them give you a nickname, Rockhead. Your name has a tremendous meaning. Your mother named you, your dad named you. And every time someone calls you out of your name, they are speaking purpose. Every time they call you by your name, they are speaking purpose in your life. So that was his first point. The second point, he said, these are high school, middle-aged young males. And he said, hey, this group, your age group is not focused enough. You're not old school enough. And so he was saying, don't let anything around you distract you. Don't let the girls distract you. Don't let the community distract you. Distress, destroy. He had 3 Ds: distract, distress, destroy. Panic will keep you from achieving your goals. And then he closed with pursue excellence. And such a meaningful message from our good brother, Tony Lee. I'm going to miss him. We all going to miss him.
Yes.
Again, a great man of God, a great father and family man, and a great brother of Omega Psi Phi. Rest in peace, Tony. And so what I like to do at this time is pivot. You know, Brother Diggs, so much is going on in the world right now. There's a new normal in 2021. The world continues to transform. We're fighting about 3 pandemics. Let's get right to the conversation for today. Family, I'm going to introduce to you Brother Diggs, a former bosses of Mu Road chapter in Annapolis, a 2nd District chairman under the 35th District Representative, our beloved Sherman Charles, and currently he is the deputy chairman for the Fatherhood Initiative and Mentoring Committee that represents 75 chapters from the states of New York, New Jersey, Delaware, and Maryland, and Pennsylvania. And Jeff, I first want to thank you for your support of me. Thank you for your leadership, and thank you for your friendship. I learned a long time ago that no one can accomplish anything of significance alone. And my friend, your gifts and your time that you lend together, we have positioned the 2nd District, this Fatherhood Committee for the 21st century. And I personally and publicly want to thank you. I call Brother Diggs Professor Diggs. You're going to see why in a little bit. He breaks down current events so the young people can understand. In December, you and I had a workshop. We spoke to about 2 organizations, about a total of 100 students, high school age, middle school age. And we asked the young people this question, Brother Diggs: what if you were born for this moment? Kind of changed the whole dynamics. And I just want you to share and talk about current events that impact our community: COVID-19 pandemic, vaccine distribution, social injustice, continued killing of Black unarmed at the hand of the police. Georgia is on my mind. We got a president that is unwilling to accept the people's election. What are your thoughts, Brother Diggs? What should a mega man be doing in this moment with parenting? What should we be doing in this moment in our homes? What should we be doing with mentoring our young people? And what should we be doing in the community? Brother Diggs, take it away.
Thank you, Brother Williams. I really appreciate the kind words. I really, really do. Of course, we have to live up to these things, and so keep the pressure up. um, but yeah, with respect to the issues that you had mentioned, we're right now. I guess we keep saying that we're in the midst of this pandemic. We really don't know um, when this thing is going to end. But for our youth, especially, with the fraternity, we have these Wednesday nights meetings in which we keep everyone across the country. Anyone can be informed as to what is actually going on, not necessarily what's being reported out of the White House or through media, but from the experts out there in the field, and some of the greatest epidemiologists out there and doctors, pediatricians who's given us the accurate real time information, and they've been on point. So those brothers who don't know the need to contact the second district or even through international to find out about the Wednesday night calls conducted by LGG Lambda Gamma Gamma chapter here in Maryland. But we need to be vigilant. We with our young people need to continue to take care of yourself. Make sure you wash your hands. Be sure that you stay 6 feet away from people that you don't live with. That's extremely important because you can be friendly with someone and you can take this back home. And so many times we hear about the devastation of taking the disease back home because with you being healthy, you may be um, what's considered asymptomatic, or you may have mild symptoms that you really wouldn't think about. It's wintertime. So if you have a little sniffles right about now and you really wouldn't be concerned with it, you could be a carrier and just not know. So we must be vigilant and take care of those things. And tonight I want to speak primarily to our youth. As you said, during December we worked heavily with well, actually from October right on through with the election cycle and all. Um, with the social injustice, one of the things we looked at with 2020 was a major year. We who would have thought that a gentleman that no one knew in January, um, that there would be a killing where a policeman put his knee in this gentleman's neck until the life left him. That there would be a worldwide demonstration with this, followed by then the election was ramping up, um, and our youth was caught up, and we had unfortunately some people in our community who were totally misinformed, and they wanted to misinform our youth by in some cases even saying not to vote. And so we took advantage of this opportunity that we had with this pandemic because our youth was sitting still and said, look, here's the deal. The we really appreciate you going out there and protesting. But after the protest, then what? But before the election come along, understand that the issues that happened with George Floyd and Breonna Taylor and Trayvon Martin and all those are local issues. They have nothing to do with the presidential election at all. Um, so we got our youth to mobilize and think about local. Who's running for mayor of your community? Who's running for your county exec? Who's going to be your next representative at the state level? This is where the difference makes. It's more important to vote for a mayor than it is for the president of the United States. It's more important to vote for your council people than the president of the United States. Because this is where the difference is going to be made. These laws and um, And the training of these policemen are conducted locally, not nationally. That's why you have issues in some states and not others because of the amount of training that is, or the type of training that the policemen are receiving. So these, so we got the kids involved with this process, um, and I like to think that we were effective because the youth turnout in this election cycle was phenomenal. They really got involved, and I think they made the difference in this election. Um, with your wisdom, you said, "Hey, look, um, let's go back with these kids that says, okay, now that you voted, now what?" So it created another opportunity. We went back and we gave these kids a quick lesson in civics. One is, continue the social justice movement, not necessarily protesting, but for the youth. We challenge each one of them to write at least 3 emails. Find out who is your local representative in your town. Send them an email. Introduce yourself to that person. Find out who is your county exec and send them an email. Introduce yourself to that person. Find out one of your state representatives, either a state delegate or a state senator. Send an email to them. Find out what are the hot topics. You know, get to know who your federal representatives are, and and just be involved in this process. And when there are opportunities that arise to when there's social issues, to get out there and say, I'm writing to express my views on this, and that's how you exercise your rights beyond voting. It takes more than casting that ballot. It's about holding your representatives accountable. It's about showing up. This year, we're not exactly sure how the General Assembly is going to work in the state of Maryland. They're talking about a hybrid, but I would assume that it's going to be all virtual. So, so let's so let's get out there and be heard virtually. Send emails. You know, with a lot of this pandemic has presented some opportunities also. One of them being that with our youth, they're sitting still. And so, with the General Assembly being virtual, there's a website called the Maryland Manual. Just go into Google and put in Maryland Manual. And I'm sorry I'm not speaking to the rest of the other 4 states. Um, but with the Maryland Manual, you can click on General Assembly and it tells you exactly how that process works. Even so, you can get in there and a representative, you can write a representative and express your views. And if you get a response from them, um, whatever response you get, favorably, negative, or whatever, you play with that system enough, you can find out exactly how they voted. Um, and that's not only just at the state level, but even the federal level. There, that's public information, and it's real time public information. So you can find out whether your representative is just pandering you for a vote, or they're actually listening. And if they're not listening, well, you know what? There's another election cycle, and it's time for you to vote. And you should always vote your best interest. Um, on to Georgia. The polls should be closing if soon, if not already closed in Georgia. Um, I'm extremely proud of the turnout of people there. Voter suppression is a real deal. Um, but I want our youth to understand why voter suppression exists. The reason why voter suppression even exists is because of your numbers. We're called minorities in this country. We're far from being minorities. If we were actually the minority voters in this country, wouldn't be the reason to suppress your vote. So you need to get out there and express yourself and understand that every opportunity, that's your God given right. And as I was explaining to the youth, it's sometimes difficult to explain to you about a history that you really can't grasp. Um, but there is a devastating history out there with voting, but beyond that is uh, beyond the history is the future. You look at the youth. You're going to be the future leaders of this country. We look at the attacks that were done on the young lady AOC, um, super young lady, um, and the older males, so to speak, in Congress could not understand this young lady, and they found an old video of hers when she was in college, and she was dancing and singing and so forth, and they pushed this video out to embarrass her. The video went viral. I watched the video, and for the life of me, um, what they saw that was embarrassing, I don't know. I mean, this was a young lady who was in college, and the video was done on a college campus with a lot of other college students with the college name on it. If there was anything inappropriate, believe me, the university would have shut that down immediately. Um, but this is the world we live in. There, in this, in the bottom line with that is that these folk are so far out of touch of what is reality, what this country needs, what the young folk demands, and they're trying to hold on to a past, um, negating the future, and the future belongs to our youth. So you have to go out there and you have to claim your future. Um, so with that, that's the reason to be involved in this process. You control your own destiny. Don't let someone else tell you what to value. Uh, even with my generation, I don't know what values you youngsters have, and you know, during the time when I was a professor, my students taught me probably more than I taught them because they was explaining to me how the future was going to work, and I just had to get on board. I always taught critical thinking. Don't just tell me what's in the book. How did this apply to your community? If it applies to your community. Okay, and down to the last question. So we have the the 45th president has been unwilling to accept the people's election. Well, in my opinion, that's for several reasons. One, maybe to avoid incarceration, but but this is a person who is totally out of touch. He's been out of touch since day one. But this is what happens when the people don't turn out to vote, or the people make some assumptions. This is what we get. I was listening to the an audio book, and it was titled "Conversations with God." And in that conversation, there was a an excerpt about Hitler, even, and so it was like, well, did Hitler go to heaven or hell? And in this excerpts, God had said that Hitler had gone to heaven because you had to understand that Hitler was supported by a lot of people. Hitler could not have operated by alone. So I say that in these United States right now, there's a guy who's sitting in Washington who's only empowered by the people that surround him and by the people who sit idle and do nothing. You know, you have a dynamic force. You may have 100 people out there that's supporting him, and you have 200 people sitting still. He has 300 people, and that's what we have to understand. We have to raise our voice. We have to demand that they follow the Constitution. But until we raise our voice, those who are sitting still, nothing's going to happen. And you don't literally have to go out there. You can start a campaign. You can pick up the phone and you can call your congressman, your senator, and make some great demands and tell them, hey, look, if you're not going to do it, we'll just replace you. You can start an email campaign. You can do op-ed. You can do many, many things, but do something, anything, to express yourself and your displeasure. Um, so we still have, and I think that was your last question there. But we have
That's why I
change
call you
along.
the
We have change
professor.
coming, and understand right now there's,
That's why I call you the professor.
and right now, we're sitting and looking. And one of the comments I made today, because right now there are protests going on in D.C., major protests, protesting the election. Here's my personal views on this, and believe me, this is Jeffrey Diggs' personal views. It has nothing to do with the fraternity
We got the
or the
disclaimer out
station.
there.
Joe
We got
Biden,
we got the disclaimer out there.
Joe Biden is a older white male, and he is not a threat to the good old boy network, the senators and the congressmen there. Their biggest problem is there's a young black woman that's sitting in the wings. Joe Biden is an old white man. If he decides that he's too tired to continue this on, or if something should happen to him, they have to deal with that young black woman. And that is the issue. Believe me. Don't get it twisted, think it's about Biden. It is not. It's all about Kamala Harris. This woman on the 20th will not only become vice president of the United States, she'll become president of the Senate. She will become the most powerful woman in the world who happens to be black. So
Well, we got
that's my personal
about
views
4 minutes,
on
Brother Diggs, that we're gonna have to move to a close.
Yes.
Your final thoughts.
Well, back to you, sir.
Your final thoughts.
We're heading to we're in 2021. I know for some 2020 was a devastating year. 2020 was a fantastic year for me. A great year, one of my better years, especially towards the end. um, but that's where my head is in this space. Be vigilant. We as black males have to step up a little bit more, take care of our youth, guide our young black males to where they need to be, teach them to respect females, period. Whether it's their peers, whether it's their parent, the grandparent, the lady down the street, this old lady down the street, it doesn't matter. That's our role. That's what we have to do. And so, but it takes us to raise these young black males. And so I'm renewing my commitment for 2021, and we're just going to do this and have some fun with it too.
Thank you, brother,
Okay,
Professor
my brother.
Jeffrey Diggs. So, family, as we move to a close, the message is clear. This is the moment for our young people. It's about winning your future. And we need you to stand up, to speak out, and to be present in this moment. That's the takeaway as we go into 2021. Again, we got about 360 days to make this world a better place. Jeffrey Diggs, you did a wonderful job. I knew you would in breaking it down. And so as we move to a close for Q's on the Move for this segment, we are excited about 2021, our second district. We want to be intentional about having a district-wide impact. And so in addition to what our chapters that will be coming before you on every Tuesday, they're going to be mentoring their young people in their community. But there are 4 planned activities that we want to invite the community to join us starting July the 30th. So Lionel, if you can put up July 30th to STEM. Yes, sir. So again, this is an invitation to join us. The link is there. We want you to click on the link. It starts at 12 noon. STEM stands for science, technology, engineering, math. My daughter is medical, so I like to add medical there. We need more of our boys and girls in the STEM fields. Um, and so here's an opportunity to start off the new year with some new skill sets. 12 noon to 1:30, and it's going to be a series. So you don't want to miss the first STEM session on January the 30th. The next one is February the 13th, the father and son NBA video tournament, and the mentor mentee video tournament. So proud of Ada Pie, brother Matt Stevens is providing leadership. This is all new for us. We are meeting our young people where they are. And so this is an introductory to have a district-wide tournament for New York. We want the New York chapters to invite their students. Click on the link. We want the folks in New Jersey, all the chapters that are mentoring young people. Click on the link. Pennsylvania, Maryland, and Delaware do likewise. We hope to have 100, 200 boys and girls teaming up to participate in this tournament on July the 13th. See you there. On February the 20th, one of our cardinal principles for the Great Omega Psi Phi is scholarship. So on February the 20th, we have Alfred Baptist Church is hosting a virtual college fair. And our good brother, Bernard Jackson, is the project manager for Alfred Baptist Church College Fair. And we want to invite middle school students, high school students, click on the link and join us for the college fair. And then lastly, on February the 27th, we have our second district virtual youth leadership and the 10th annual Game Changer Conference. We are so excited, great opportunities. We're looking to have 500 students connect, and we're inviting our community to join us. And so my closing remarks is simple. We are excited about this new year. We are so glad that you're able to join us for this conversation. And with that, I'm saying we'll see you next Tuesday, same time, Q's on the Move, 8 o'clock every Tuesday from here to April. Make good choices. Don't let your guard down. Wear your mask, the 3 W's, wear your mask, wash your hand, watch your distance. Love you. We out. Q's on the Move.
Take care.